Welcome. My name is Dawn Macary, and I'm with the Western Connecticut Area Agency on Aging. And we have a new show entitled Working Together with the Western Connecticut Agency on Aging. The agency serves 41 towns in Western Connecticut. We offer free, unbiased information to individuals on Medicare and persons with disabilities on Medicare regarding Medicare insurance, Medicaid, Part D, new to Medicare, respite care, the home care program, money follows the persons, assistance filling out applications, senior Medicare patrol, which is Medicare fraud, and a variety of other programs to help keep individuals independent and at home. And today I am very pleased to have Sarah Donavan with us, and she is the Connecticut Home Care Program for the Elderly and the training coordinator for Money Follows the Person and the supervisor.
That's
Well,
right.
You have a long title there, Sarah.
It is a very long title.
Yes, it is. So you have a lot of jobs you do. But before we get going, perhaps you could tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Like you said, I am the training and I'm also the community outreach coordinator for the Connecticut Home Care Program for Elders at Western Connecticut. I am also the supervisor of the Money Follows the Person Department, MFP. I have been working with the home care program for about 5 years now.
Wow.
Yes, in several different capacities as a care manager, with my own client list, which I miss those days sometimes. But really in all different areas. I am very passionate about the home care program. I am very passionate about anything that serves our community and keeping especially our elders home, independent, making sure that we can avoid institutionalization at all costs, because that's the goal of this whole thing here.
Absolutely. It's always nice to see that we can keep an individual home, or if you're caring for a parent, the parent can stay home. So.
Absolutely.
What does your job as the home care program, what does that entail?
Sure. So my main job is to make sure that every new care manager that starts working for the Connecticut Home Care Program has all the tools they need to be the most effective care manager they can be. It's my job to make sure that any new staff coming in is well versed in the program. There's a lot to learn.
Okay.
For fun one day, I decided to count, and it was over 2,500 new things in the first 2 weeks a new care manager has to learn. So the program is very involved, as any fantastic program is. It's a program that has a very good mission, and my goal is to make sure that not only does everyone understand that program, but is impassioned about that program, is excited about that program, because if they're excited, it's going to carry on into their clients. It's going to make sure that everyone's going along the same goal. I also have to make sure, we do have a requirement that all of our care managers have to complete 12 hours of coursework training throughout the fiscal year.
Okay.
And it's my job to find different coursework throughout the state, maybe bring in guest speakers. Last year we offered over 95 hours of training, and it's in all areas of mental health, different diagnoses that affect primarily our elderly clients, anything that can give them the best leg up to serve their clients well. That's what I need to make sure they get.
You do serve the disabled on Medicare also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there is, in the Connecticut Home Care Program, there is the elder waiver, which is our primary, but there's also CHCPD, which is for those with disabilities, and it's still on the home care waiver. And so we serve a number of different folks.
Right. So you're training what Sarah does is she's training all these people that come into the office.
Yes.
Okay. So there are the care managers, so that when you call or you're referred to the home care program, you talk to one of these people, and that person becomes your
care manager.
Your care manager. So they're very, very important in the care of the client.
Absolutely. A care manager is the bridge between the funding and the services. We make sure that all of those services to meet a client's safety and well-being are in the home, so that a client is safe, they're able to live independently, they are set up for success, and if we can keep you out of long-term institutional care, That's the plan.
So this is not a job for a grouchy person. You have to have a good personality.
You absolutely have to have a good personality. And we are very fortunate at Western to make sure that we have found just fabulous, fabulous individuals to be care managers. And we have a great staff who really put the clients first, and we're proud of them every day.
Well, I can attest to that. I sit near a couple of the care managers and I hear them on the phone with their clients, and they just listen so intently to their problems. It's like everything is about the client.
We work for them.
And it's really, you do a great job educating them.
Thank you.
I can say that. How many of you educated over the past? Probably more than you can count.
More than I can count. Than I can count. Whether they're new staff or just staff that is there. It's my job that any new program that comes from the Department of Social Services, I need to learn all about it and make sure that the staff is well educated on any changes that happen, any new programs. We just had a new program last year start, Community First Choice, which is a Medicaid entitlement program. It's not a waiver program, so the rules are a little different, and that's been very interesting to get everyone up to speed on a totally new way of doing things.
So if we can maybe we can just go into that program a little bit. What is Connecticut First Choice? Community First Choice.
Okay. So Community First Choice is a Medicaid entitlement program. So those who meet institution level care and are on Medicaid, so people who, if they needed to go to long-term institutionalization, a nursing home, and they're on Medicaid, so the Medicaid benefit was already going to pay for them to be in the nursing home.
Right.
Rather than be in the nursing home, they can be eligible to receive personal care attendant services in the home, and sometimes up to 24-hour care, should it fit in the budget and all of that thing. And what sets it apart, as I say budget, is that it's the first program that is completely self-directed in that it does not have a care manager. Not that we would ever tell anyone the services that they need. Let me be very clear about that. But it is complete authority over your services and your budget. So given an assessment, there is an assessment tool. That assessment tool lets you know what budget you would be receiving, and you are allowed to choose the services that fit within that budget that best suit your needs. Okay. And it's completely self-directed, and it's a different way of thinking from care management,
right?
But it's been very successful so far.
How does someone get on that program? So say I'm taking care of my dad at home, okay, but he had to go to the nursing home because I couldn't, but I really want to take care of him at home, okay? So how would I go about getting him onto this program?
Well, if you needed, seeing as he's in a nursing facility, if you needed assistance with him getting out of the nursing facility, that's where you would make the referral for the Money Follows the Person program. Oh, so MFP can be the transition services that get you back out into the community. Community First Choice, CFC, is the program that would provide the services once you are back in the community in-home. So they're the community-based services. Once you're back in the community, they're the in-home services that keep you from having to return to the nursing facility.
So you use Money Follows the Person first to get out, and then the Community First Choice to get services in the home.
That's if you're in the nursing facility. If you are already home and you are on Medicaid and you meet this level of need, these nursing home level of care, then all you need to do is make a referral in the exact same place that you would make a referral for MFP online, and that's at ctmfp.com. I always switch them, so I want to make sure it's ctmfp.com. And that is the referral source for MFP, but it's also the referral source for CFC. So if you're already in the community and you are on Medicaid, then this is a program worth checking out.
Geez, is there a waiting list on this program?
There is, but only for the startup period. So everyone is allowed to come on as long as they meet the financial and functional eligibility requirements. Right. There's a little bit of a waiting list just because it is a new program and we're just getting across the entire state, we're just getting up to capacity to be able to assess everyone. Oh, okay. So I always let everyone know when they put the referral in, be patient with us. It may take a couple of weeks, but we are going to get an assessor out there and we're going to get the ball rolling for you.
That's great. So that sounds like a wonderful program.
It is.
It's fairly new, isn't it?
Very new. Very new. But it's so far very successful, and we're happy to see see the turnaround with that.
Good. Again, I want to remind the audience that I'm talking to Sarah Donavan, and she is the Home Care Program and Elderly Training Coordinator at the Western Connecticut Agency on Aging. And any of the things we're talking about today, our phone number is listed on the screen, and you can certainly give Sarah a call, and
Absolutely.
she would be happy to answer your questions.
Very happy. It's what I do.
And she does a good job at it, too.
Thank you.
Now, if we can move on to Money Follows the Person,
Yeah.
I remember this program has been around for how long now?
Well, in 2007 was really when it started in Connecticut, and 2010 was really when it got its legs moving. So we've been doing the program for a while, and here at Western Connecticut. So it's a wonderful program designed to take those folks who are living in nursing facilities currently who would like to return to the community. We make that possible, and again, it is for those on Medicaid. So there is the requirement that you do have to be Medicaid active. But if you are living long-term in the nursing facility, chances are you are. Not always the case, but it is possible, and we can always help out with that as well. So if the referral's there and you're unsure if that's the case or anything, then we can, at the office, we can fill you all in on that. So
now, how long do you have to be in the nursing home before you
3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
3 months.
Okay.
So
it used to be longer.
It used to be longer. It used to be 6 months. Currently, it's 90 days. So if you're residing in the nursing facility for 90 days or more, you can make this referral, or you're going to be staying for 30 days, 90 days or more, you can make the referral for the home care program.
So if I'm in the nursing home for 90 days and I find I want to come out.
Yes.
Okay. Who am I going to call first?
Well, the great thing is that it is now mandatory that all nursing facilities, if you do wish to make a referral to the Money Follows the Person program, they do need to assist with that.
Oh, okay.
But it's very easy just to make a referral on the phone or online. You would do that ctmfp.com as well. There's a link right there. So if you or a family member have access to the internet, you can make it right through there. Or we do have a referral line that goes right to the Department of Social Services, and that's the 1-888-992-8637 number. So they can call that. They can get these numbers and these links right on the Department of Social Services website.
Okay, and they can also call Sarah.
And they can call me as well.
They can call you as well. Okay.
So I will be more than happy to give all of this information and assist with any referrals that need to be made.
Is there an age limit on the Money Follows the Person?
It's just anyone that is Medicaid active that meets the level of need. So if they needed, the level of need in the nursing facility, which they are, because they're in the nursing facility. So if they've been in the nursing facility and they're Medicaid active, then we can go out and make the assessment.
Do they have to be on Medicare?
They do not have to be on Medicare,
okay,
but it is a Medicaid thing. But you
can
be on Medicare. You
All right, okay. Now, what type of service do you provide? Like, what happens? So now I'm going to come out of the nursing home. You've got my referral. What happens next?
Well, that's great. So what happens is the referral goes to the Department of Social Services, where they do a pre-screen. They determine which agency should be receiving the referral. We do the 41 towns in the northwest corner, but the state is broken up by regions, and different access agencies do take the referrals based on where the person is and where they wish to reside in the community. So they do take that into consideration. If everything on first glance you meet the financial qualifications, then you would be given the access agency would be given the referral to go out and do an assessment.
So that would be, let's say Western would be given the referral?
Well, we have specialized care managers. We work with a sister agency, which is Connecticut Community Care, CCCI.
Okay.
And they have the specialized care managers who go out and do the referral, the assessments first.
Okay.
So they would go out and see if they are functionally, what services are going to need. They assess all of that. Maybe they're going to be best fit with the Community First Choice program.
Okay.
Maybe they're going to be eligible for the Elder Waiver program when they come out, or the PCA waiver for those who are 18 to 64 with chronic disabilities. So they are going to be doing the ones that do all of the assessment.
Then when do you get the client?
When we get the client is when all of the plan of care gets approved by the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
Then we get our transition coordinators and our housing coordinator involved. So transition coordinators work on the transition services provided by the Money Follows the Person program. So it gets confusing because people believe that if you are on the elder waiver and you're having PCA services in the home through the elder waiver, that comes from MFP. But that comes from the waiver when you're in the community. But the Money Follows the Person program does take care of transition services. So your transition coordinator would make sure that you are set up with everything that you need in the community. If you have no income in the community, we would go through the SAGA cash benefit, all of that kind of stuff. If you need housing in the community and you're not returning to your own house, we do have a housing coordinator who will work with you to get you housing once you're in the community as well.
Do they get you furniture too?
Yes. So that's part of the transition services budget. While we are not setting up the Taj Mahal here, we are making sure that everyone has everything that they need to be safe and comfortable in their new home. It's a wonderful program.
Do you find that more of the elderly come out and that they go to their children's home where the children can look after them?
I would say it's a fair mix. I would say of those needing housing services, it usually tends to be those of our younger clients because a lot of elderly clients are going home to family, but it is a good mix.
Okay.
It is.
So when they go home to family, what type of services would you set up? Like
So you are able to get through Money Follows the Person based on your needs. You know, you do have not only the transition services, you can have nursing services, you can have home care, homemaking services, the nursing services. Those all can come through the Money Follows the Person program.
If you're at home.
If you're at home. And additional services, if you are eligible for any of the waivers, there are even more services that can be provided to you. And the way you would find out if you're eligible for the waiver is that initial assessment by a specialized care manager. Okay. They would come and meet you in the nursing facility and see where you fall in. But again, a lot more services are available now that the Medicaid benefit of Community First Choice has really opened it up and is providing more services than ever before to folks that may have not been eligible for waivers in the past.
Right. Let's say, okay, I'm home. I need the care, and I want my sister to be my caregiver.
Right. Well, it depends on what program we're getting services from. The Community First Choice program, you can have a family member.
You can.
Yes, absolutely.
Would they get paid?
And they would. They would. So family members on the waiver program there's a different program available to them, which is adult family living, where if you are the elder waiver, if you're on the elder waiver and let's say your daughter is taking care of you, she can be eligible based on your level of need. She can be eligible for getting a tax-free stipend from the state of Connecticut to take care of, and that's for family members, and that's through the elder waiver and some other waiver programs as well. But Community First Choice, you are able to get to have family members as long as they are not your conservator, and
to take care of
they can take care of you.
Get paid.
They can't be your spouse either. So spouse or
they
conservator.
can't be the spouse?
No, your spouse cannot be your PCA. But as long as they're not your spouse or your conservator, family members through Community First Choice can get paid to be your personal care assistant.
And that's a new thing too.
That is very new, yes.
So
very new under that
nice,
program.
Yeah, because a lot of people, that were elderly would like to have, their children take care of them, or, an adult daughter.
And the adult family living program for the elderly through the Connecticut Home Care Program for Elders, that has really just made amazing strides in helping those who have had to give up their job to take care of an elderly parent. Right. We've had a lot of husbands and wives who have gone from a 2-income family to a 1-income household because a family member has moved in. And now with adult family living, these people are now able to get compensated for that, which is which has been wonderful. I have personally seen it just make such a positive impact on several families.
That's a great program. Again,
it is, and that's relatively new as well. So
I know Sarah's throwing out a lot of acronyms.
I am throwing out
for
a lot of
information. So if you do need information or you can't remember exactly who to call or what program it is, please call the number that is on our screen and ask for Sarah, and she will help you. But how long, Sarah, does on the Money Follows the Person? How long does that program take from start to end?
Well, it really does depend on if we are looking for housing. Sometimes housing issues can slow us down a little bit. But our personal goal at Western is to get you out into the community 3 to 4 months from the time that we receive when we receive the referral at Western and start transition services. Again, there are a lot of things that
you have to get set up.
Definitely a lot smoother transition if you are already going home to a specific dwelling, but it varies. But I know at Western, I can personally say that our goal is to get to return as many people as possible to the community if that's their choice. It's all about client choice.
All about what they want.
All about what they want.
So if they're in the nursing home for 3 months, then they can apply, and it could take up to 4 months before they actually get out.
Right.
Do you find that housing is a really big problem?
Housing can be a big problem. We sometimes run into, previous problems as far as credit scores can be an issue, or if there's an eviction and all of that. But I have to say, we are able to overcome those obstacles. So it may take some time, but we're very dedicated to fulfilling the needs of the consumer to get them back in the community.
So the consumer comes out, and now they're only getting probably a small Social Security check. I don't know. So how they would have to be, because they're on Medicaid. So they're getting a small. So how do they pay for the rent and the other things?
Well, there is a bunch of different resources. One of which is the Rental Assistance Program, which is a program that is only offered through the Money Follows the Person program. And if they happen to meet all of the requirements for this rental assistance program, also known as the RAP program, then they would be able to have the majority of their rent covered, and they would be responsible for a portion of what their income is. So it's income based. This isn't open to everyone. Not everyone is eligible for this program, but we do find a lot of people are, and that helps people, especially in that first year, get back on their feet and make sure that their rent is taken care of.
Very good. What would make someone ineligible for the program?
Well, sometimes they can be over income limit. We do have an income limit for the rental assistance program. There can be some criminal history background, which would make you ineligible, and especially things that are recent that can,
So what happens to those people? They just have to stay where they're at?
They don't have to stay where they're at. There's different programs that we can go, and we'll keep fighting for that. So we don't want anyone to ever feel that if they wish to come back out into the community, that all hope is lost. All hope is not lost.
Okay, well,
we just have to be creative sometimes, but we will.
Oh boy. And what towns do you serve? Because you mentioned Western Connecticut, but yet you might serve Hartford too?
Well, it depends. We get the referrals for the 41 towns in the northwest corner, but sometimes folks are returning to everywhere in the state. So as long as they're residing in a nursing facility in the 41 towns that we service, sometimes we're looking for housing in Bristol, sometimes we're looking for housing in New Haven, sometimes our housing coordinator is going out to meet people in Bridgeport. So it really just it all depends. It's completely client-based and client-centered. We would never tell anyone where they have to live. That's not
so
how
they
that
could
works.
make a preference, say, well, I would like to live in Southbury.
Yes.
They could make a preference, and you would do the best you could.
Absolutely. There's sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board and widen the search, but that's always something that would be discussed with the client.
That's a big job, that housing coordinator.
Yes.
Trying to find someplace to live that you can afford.
And we currently just have a bang up, he is just fantastic housing coordinator.
You have a wonderful team.
We do. I'm very proud of this team because they we set a goal of getting 50 people out for the entire year of 2016, and we met that goal in the beginning of September.
Wow, that's
so
wonderful.
I mean, we have completely obliterated it. So this is a very hardworking team. I'm proud of all of them.
So this Money Fellows program has really worked, because I was very skeptical when I was at the agency many years ago when it was in its infancy.
Right.
They weren't sure how it was going to work, and I know Joe Stango was behind a lot of it for his mom, Doris. I can't remember what it was. Doris Hope.
Right.
And trying to get something like this to work. And I am so thrilled that you're doing this, and that you're the coordinator there, because you have so much energy and so much passion.
I am very passionate about it. Absolutely. I've seen the amazing things that this program can do.
Well, it's a wonderful program, and once again, if you need more information on the program,
then please call me.
Call Sarah, because there is an awful lot to absorb.
There is, and I'm trying to cover a lot in a small amount of time, but I can, on a more one-on-one phone call, I can, break things down a lot better.
So there's always something that you can do to help someone.
Oh, absolutely. We will figure this out. And that comes a lot from our executive director at Western. I think that she really, Chris Fishbein,
she's wonderful.
Absolutely make sure that we all go into every day knowing that just because one door is not opening, we need to keep finding as many doors as possible, and we will find it. There is no wrong door.
Yeah, but I will say that about Chris. She just is adamant about helping seniors, disabled individuals,
Absolutely.
and doing anything possible she can. Well, we are out of time,
Oh,
Sarah.
wow, that was a lot faster than I thought.
And again, we had Sarah Donavan from the Connecticut Home Care Program, and the Elderly Training Coordinator. And I would like to thank you, our audience, for watching our show, working together with the Agency on Aging, trying to keep you independent and living at home. Thank you.